Sanbonani, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of the East Rand Podcast Files. Today on the show, we have a trailblazer who is a music artist, a producer, a sound engineer, and songwriter. He goes by the name of Dramiller, and he joins us on the show. Dramiller, sawubona.
Sawubona baba ninja.
Sikhona kunjani mina kwethu?
Siyaphila.
Nakho-ke, thank you.
Esahlonipha yabona.
Okay, no, kuhle mfethu, kuhle.
Sure.
Thank you, brother man, for joining us on the East Rand Podcast
Yeah,
Files
thank you
today.
so much for having me.
Now, Dramiller man, you
Sure.
know, who is Dramiller and where are you from, brother man? Athi siqale lapha.
I can start where I'm from the East Rand, you know. Grew up loving music, so Dramiller developed at a very young age. I started with writing, and then it went on to producing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Before we get
So-
into that, where in the East Rand are you from? Gwathe Matsakane where?
Eish, ngathi Springs. Let me just say Springs.
Or out as Springs?
Yeah.
And then what's your real name?
My real name is Ntokozo Mavuso.
Ntokozo Mavuso.
Yeah, happiness.
Happiness. All right. Okay. Happiness from Springs.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I believe, brother man, that you grew up in a family who loves and enjoys music.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Growing up, I used to wake up to my dad playing music
Okay.
every day. So it got into my head. That's when I started loving music. Njalo ngihlala ukhala ingoma.
Yeah.
Every day my dad is jamming early in the morning.
Early
so
in the
I've
morning.
always been that person now. When I wake up early in the morning,
Yeah.
there's a time I dedicate to music.
Okay.
And yeah, my brother as well also used to love music.
Yes.
My mom.
When
same
you
thing.
say, yeah, sorry to cut you. When you say when you were young, because you still look young, brother man.
Ish.
How old were you
Ish.
then
Ish.
when your dad was playing that music?
I was very young, but 5-6 years old. Yeah,
Okay.
That's when I started loving music.
And what type of music was your dad playing?
My dad was more of like a jazzy, old school type
Wow.
of person. Yabona. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I had started music there, so imagine the depth I had to go through.
and your brother, tell us about your brother. You say nah, music.
Yeah, my brother was more of like hip hop music.
Okay.
So I started, as I heard his hip hop music, he used to play Eminem, Nan. Even
Yes.
though there was swearing and all of that, but like his
But the
style
skill,
of writing
yes.
was what I was trying to study.
Oh.
Yeah.
And how did you get the name Dramiller?
Yeah. To be honest, it really just popped up in my head.
Is it?
Yeah.
Njani ndoda? Just Dramiller and I'm gonna go with this name.
I had a passion. Actually, I had love for drums. Ne?
Oh.
When ever since, like I just love the percussion sides of music.
Okay.
So I wanted to sound familiar or similar to a drum. Yabo.
Okay.
So I was like, can't be called drum or drama. There's already a DJ drama.
Yes.
You know, I'm like, Dramiller.
Yes, okay.
It just came to me.
Now let's rewind a bit.
Yeah.
You say your dad used to play music and
Yeah.
your brother used to play music, and
Yeah.
then when obviously you were absorbing, for
Yeah.
lack of a better word,
Yeah.
that influence.
Yeah.
And then what step did you take? Masozo qala ukufunda ama-drum. Did you sing at church, at school?
Okay.
Kwenzakalani from there
When I
after
got
the
to-
influence?
Funny story, nobody really knows this, but when I was in grade 2, I was actually in a choir
Grade
at
2
school. Yeah.
in a choir.
I was actually in a choir. But I left because I was too shy. I was a shy kid. But eventually, you know, I learned to find my voice. When I was about 9 years old, that's when I started writing. Because
Okay.
I liked hip hop, as I was saying.
Yes.
I started writing. From then, when I got to high school, I'm one person who, you know, I would ask for something, and if somebody doesn't want to or I'm unable to get it, I prefer doing it myself.
That's
you know.
good.
So I studied how to do music and everything. I started doing beats, high school, hip hop. I started off with hip hop because that's where I
Yes.
started the writing with,
Yes.
and then from there, so on and so on.
What year was that
That was like
during your high school days?
yo. Now you're making me sound old, and I look young. It was about 2011.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
2011, 2012, somewhere there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when did you, after learning how to write music, when did you start to record music?
That was I was in grade 7, which was like 2010,
Okay.
I
Yonke
think.
into ndo tuyenze at those lower
Yeah,
grades.
I started very, very early, very.
Yes.
Yeah, I really wanted to do this.
And then what influences your content in your music?
What influences my content is the music that I listen to. So I actually study other people who listen to music. Like I music like mning, I just
Yes.
listen. So I listen to your Jay-Z's, I listen to your Eminems, your Drakes, your trying to understand the commercial world, trying to understand a world of a background where it's just lyrical, you know,
Mm.
exploring until eventually now I found my
Your
sound.
own sound. That's
Yeah.
good. Ndota, you have a song titled Desdemona.
Yeah.
Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah,
Now,
Desdemona.
what does that mean?
To explain this, let me give it a bit history for those who don't know
Yeah, sure.
Shakespeare.
Okay.
There's Ilonaga Shakespeare called Othello. So Desdemona was a character who was Othello's wife. And then
Okay.
Othello eventually killed Desdemona due to misinformation from the one person he trusted, which was his advisor.
Okay.
From then, what came into my mind was the word pure for Desdemona. And looking at today's world, I felt like females are not, expressed that much, not noticed that much. So I always felt like, what, let me dedicate this to females who think that I am nothing, I'm not pure. Let me be pure.
Mm.
So that's what Desdemona. It
I,
comes
li-
from a
I
good heart.
like that. I
Yeah.
like that. And it's a beautiful song, by the
Thank you
way.
very much.
And how many albums or EPs do you have, brother man?
So far, I released an EP last year called "Take Care of Me for Me."
Yes.
Get that?
Yes. Yes. I was about to ask you about that, but it's okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
the EP. So I have that one EP, and I've got singles out now. I am 3, I am 2, which leads up to the album that's dropping next month. So this is
Okay.
my first album that I'm dropping.
Oh, it's your first
Yeah.
album. Ah, now that's good. And how did you get to share some studio engineering time with the likes of Shoma Josie and RJ Benjamin?
Um. Yo, how do you guys know that?
I do my
But anyways,
research, bruh. Come on. I
but
do my
anyways,
research.
yeah. There was this one time where a friend of mine kind of gave me like, yabona, a young through pass. It's like,
I was chazisele kahle young troopers kanjani, did he introduce you to them? How did
yeah.
it happen?
So what happened is, a boyfriend at the time,
Mm.
Shoma Josie, was looking for like an engineer. So they wanted to like start something new, and they wanted a young engineer who's fresh out of school or still in school,
Mm.
trying to get it in. So yeah, a friend of mine hit me up with that. Okay, number okay. I went to his place. I think that was when Shoma Josie was recording Huku.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
So we got there. I actually waited for her to finish because apparently, yeah, she was still trying to fix her voice.
Okay.
And then after like 15 minutes, RJ Benjamin walks in. I'm like, how? And
Yes.
then, okay,
This is
thing is cool,
RJ
Lumos.
Benjamin.
This is RJ Benjamin. From there, even though he stole my jack adapter, but it's fine.
That's
We,
RJ
we
Benjamin.
move on.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were there. So he gave me a little tips, and he started being my mentor. I
Mm,
started getting advice from him about music and everything, vocal coaching,
mm,
and all of that. Yeah.
mm.
So
What's some of the tips, especially about coaching that you got from RJ? What were those tips
he
for some
once,
of the upcoming artists who are listening now?
okay, he once taught me about the breathing techniques
That's good.
that you
Yes.
do. It's
Mm.
very important because you need to be on time as an artist. So I've always taught myself time. So that's what rang when he explained it to me. Time. You
Yes.
just need to be on time for things.
Oh,
Be
yes.
punctual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or punctuality.
Yeah.
Now that's good.
Even in your vocals.
Yes. Now that's good. Now, when listening to your music, Ndota, I noticed that there's a variety of African elements in your sound,
Yeah.
which brings me to the question of how do you draw your inspiration? Are you more of a religious person or a spiritual person? We lezi zithandazayo or lezi meditator maybe?
Yeah, I do pray a lot. I do meditate a lot. I'm very quite a spiritual person.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how does that play a part in your daily life and in your music?
Okay, so I felt in love with since I want to portray the persona of inspiration. I fell in love with perspective, like understanding when someone comes from and all of that. So that played a part in a ngathini,
in your music and in
yeah,
your
in my
daily
music,
life.
in my daily life. So
Yes.
it's basically what I see and what I think and what I feel,
Yes.
and I just throw it into music.
Yes.
Ngiphansi, I'm humble. I know I speak low, but music also has saved my life in a way of um, I can project my voice through music. I can do whatever I want.
What are some of the challenges you face as an upcoming artist that you would like to address?
Yo, it's quite a lot, eh? I feel like, dreams are expensive. So, things like having equipment and trying to um, show somebody else what you're seeing and accommodate everybody else as well. So, those are the challenges. Trying to see if you don't, strike a nerve to someone, you
Oh
just
yes,
accommodate
yes, yes,
everybody.
yes, yes.
It's a
Trying to
challenge.
find that balance.
Yeah, that's when the writing comes in. Good now, my writing, I need to put everybody in considerations. Same with equipment. Ngacala there was this my headphone at the call center
Yes,
that have a young mic. I
yes.
started there recording
Is it?
actually.
Yes.
Yeah, in
And
my
and
room.
and you used that up until you got
Up
some of the better
until I
equipment.
saved money and I got better equipment again over and over and over
Now,
again.
is your father still around?
My father passed away. It's been 4 months now.
Oh,
Passed away
oh,
last year,
all right,
November.
all
Yeah.
right, okay.
So yeah.
Our condolences, man, and
Thank you
may
very
his soul
much.
rest in peace. I wanted to
Thank you
ask
very much.
Uguti, how does he feel about you now, as
Eish,
as an artist? You know.
I say deep, man.
No, no, it's
But it's
okay.
probably where he is. I just hope I know that
Absolutely.
he's proud of me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, because you mentioned him in the beginning
Yeah.
of this talk. No, I
Yeah.
understand, my
He
brother.
is proud.
Now, who are some of the local artists you wish you would like to work with?
Local.
Local,
How local is this?
like the likes of RJ Benjamin, Shoma
Oh,
Josie, maybe Casper
um,
Nyovest, maybe.
I'm really one person who's open basically to anybody
Mm.
because I just love to do what I do. I don't have
A preference.
preferences,
Mm.
but yeah, definitely I'd love to work with maybe AKA one day,
Okay.
work with Tandi Mazwai one day.
Okay.
I almost said Huma Sigela, but
No, I understand. Yeah, I understand.
so
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I understand. Now, what's the one thing you are proud of about yourself since becoming a musician?
One thing I can say I'm proud of myself is that I am able to do the things I told myself I could not do.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's what makes me proud about myself.
Was it at first, were there people who were doubtful maybe
Oh,
ukuthi la ndoda angeke uyenze lento,
that's
but you
yeah.
decided ukuthi uzoyenza?
That's also one of the challenges you mentioned about, as an upcoming artist. There's a lot of, people gonna tell you're not good enough.
Mm.
You don't deserve to be in this space. Wada. It's not gonna work out for you. But here's the thing about somebody who doesn't give up. It's quite difficult to compete with somebody who doesn't give
Yeah,
up.
no, that's good.
Yeah,
I agree. And they say, as they say, you can't keep a good man down.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
definitely.
no. Now, tell us more about the Lowdown podcast that featured the likes of the major league DJs.
Ish. Back in 2016, 17, I started a podcast show with some friends of mine they were the two hosts, and I was just engineering the whole show.
Okay,
So it was like a pre-recording type of thing that
okay.
you add on, and yeah, it was a
Or when
lot.
you would record.
Yeah, I'd get everything done, make sure everybody's here, record, edit, add sounds if I have to add sounds, and all of that. So yeah, I started it 2016, 2017. Um, I was still at Academy of Sound Engineering at the time, so I used the
Okay,
studios also SAPC. So it was
okay,
easier for me, to get people like that. So one of the co-hosts was in charge of getting the artists to
okay.
come onto the show, and eventually got the major league DJs. They agreed to come. We
Yes.
came, we recorded. We also had Patrick XX Lee. We
Okay.
had OK Wasabi. We had Uvenus.
Okay.
We had, yeah, man. We almost had JR, but yeah,
Wow. No,
yeah,
that's good. You've been around, man.
yeah. I've
And
been
I believe you've received some accolades.
accolades.
Haven't you received any accolades in your career so far?
So far, not really, if I
Okay.
can say,
All right.
not really.
Okay, but they're still gonna
But
come.
yeah, they're definitely going to come. But it's not basically my main focus,
That's good.
for awards and
Yes,
stuff. But
yes,
if they do come,
yes.
I receive. It's a blessing,
That's
It's a
good.
bonus to me,
Yes,
But really, all I want to do is just inspire somebody else.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, what are you currently working on?
Right now, I just finished the album. So the album is coming out May 27th. It's called I Am Dramiller. So I'm just explaining who Dramiller is because a lot of people have been like, okay, we hear you, but we don't really know what type of person you are. So it's just an album about identity.
Mm.
So that's what's got me.
About identity.
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah.
But look, as I was listening to your music there on Spotify, don't you have I2?
Yeah. So the name of the album is called I Am Dramiller. So now I have released the first single called I Am 3,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
then
I am 3.
yeah,
Yes,
and then I
yes.
had I Am 2 last month released, and this month on April 27 I'm releasing I Am 1. So I'm basically making a countdown. So the track list is written in numbers. So it's basically I Am 1, I Am 2 up to 9. So I have a 9
Wow.
track album.
Wow.
So it was inspired by actually I loved soccer as a kid as well. I
Okay.
forgot to mention that. So it's like, when you have your number one, it's like the introduction, the first prayer,
Yes.
everything. It's like you
Yes.
wake up in the morning.
Yes.
So I'm like telling a story basically of a day
Oh,
in an
yes.
album.
Oh, hence I am
I am 1, I am 2,
2,
I
I
am
am
3.
3. I like that. That's
Yeah,
unique.
yeah, thank you.
I like that. How can you describe yourself in 3 words?
Um, from what people tell me or from what I think I
From
am.
what you think.
I think
Let's
I
forget
am.
about people.
I think
From
I'm
you.
very funny. Let's start there.
Okay.
Even though angakakuhlekisi mara uzohleka manje. So yeah, I'm quite funny person. I'm very diligent and enthusiastic. Even though I'm humble.
You're
But
very humble, I
yeah,
must say.
yeah.
Now, how can people find you on social media?
On Instagram it's at Dramiller. On Twitter it's at Dramiller. Facebook at Dramiller. Straight nje.
And music wakho
Everywhere.
bawuthola kanjani via those social media accounts
Yeah,
or
if you just click and follow me, you'll see on my websites I have the links to my music. So it's available everywhere: Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer. We there in there like swimmer part in Jengetwap.
nakho? Dramiller, man, thank you very much for joining us on the
Thank you
East
for
Rand
having me.
Podcast Files today. And you're still young, brother, man.
Yeah.
We wish you all the best. Hopefully, we're going to hang with you in the near future once again.
Definitely.
Talking about the new stuff that you do.
Definitely.
And then just to hang out with you. Thank
Sure.
you, brother, man. And
Thank you
keep
very much.
shining your light to the world.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another trailblazer from the East, showing us what he does, and his name is Dramiller. Make sure that you follow him. And from myself and the rest of the team, a big thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode here on the East Rand Podcast Files.